morning everybody, it's Ian from R.T.O here. Hope you're all well. Before we start, just want to say a big thank you to a fellow YouTuber, Richard McCook. Thank you for your little bit about my channel yesterday. I'm quite touched actually. It's just nice to see other YouTubers helping out others. That's what it's all about. You know, we're quite a big community, and it's much appreciated, Richard. Thank you very much. I'm still a very fairly new, but it looks like I'm starting to get known, which is cool. I'm hoping that me and Richard and myself will do a joint thing next year. I'm sure we need to just have a chat and see what we can talk about. So if you're watching this, Richard, I know you are, if you drop me an email with some details and we will come up with a plan. Okay, down to the serious business. It's not serious, it's all fun, isn't it? Today's album, it's one of those that's sort of obscure but not. The albums are obscure, but the artist isn't. We are talking, of course, of a certain Mr. Francis Rossi, who's in a certain band of my favourite band of mine, and a lot of you guys that watch the channel, Status Quo, of course. So I'm not going to give the usual spiel about what they've done, because if you're an absolutely mad fan of Quo, you know the story. So we'll skip all that and we'll go straight into his solo career. Well, he's made three solo projects, official ones, of course, and that's what we're going to look at today. It's not, if you're not listened to any of the Francis Rossi's solo stuff, it's not Quo. You know that you know, when you do solo stuff, you do something a bit away from your day job, and Francis Rossi does like a lot of different music. Some of the tracks he's released are a little bit too poppy, we'll talk about that, but on the whole they're very enjoyable songs, and I like listening to these albums. So the first one we're going to look at is his solo, coming in at number 3. First solo album, released in 1996, and it is called King of the Doghouse. This features, of course, Francis on vocals and lead guitar. We've got Marcus Brown on keyboards, programming, percussion and backing vocals. Danny Cummins percussion. Anthony Mascopoulos guitar and bouzouki. Then we have a brass section, and in the brass section we have Nigel Hitchcock, Nigel and Steve Sidwell, Gerard Presenza, and backing vocals are Sonia Jones, Dave Taggart, Simon Rossi, Nick Rossi, keep it in the family, Kyle Kenyon. So first track is the title track. It's called King of the Doghouse, of course. It's not a bad track, nice uplifting track, lots of backing vocals and horns and what have you. Very pleasant though. Second track is called I Don't Know. This is a good track. It's a bit of a rock and roll-y 1950s style rock and roll. It's got a nice hook to it, and I like that one. Very pleasant song. Then there's a track called Darling. What can I say about this one? Without just, it's basically what you expect from Francis Rossi. His style of writing, his arrangement, and it's a very good track. Next track is called Give Myself to Love. Bit poppy for me. But Francis sounds alright on it. Next track, Isaac Ryan. No, not my cup of tea at all, unfortunately. Happy Town gets the thumbs down for me as well. It's not the best track. Then we get Wherever You Go. Okay, this one is not too bad. It's got a catchy hook. It's a very pleasant song. It's quite easy on the ear. Then we get Blue Fat Water. Pleasant enough song. Again, nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite on the album. Okay, the next song, a song called The Fighter. Now, for those Status Quo fans that know that they're going, hold on a minute, this is a Quo song. Yes, it's written by Francis Rossi and Bernie Frost, and it's from the sessions on the 1988 album Ain't Complaining. It didn't appear on the album. God knows why it didn't, because there are songs on Ain't Complaining that are just naff, and I'm a Quo fan, as you know. But they put it on when they did the expanded remix melodians. This is a very good song. I like this track. I always have liked this track, and I just want to know who made the decision to leave it off Ain't Complaining, because it is a far superior track to some of the wishy-washy rubbish that was put on that album. Excellent track. And the last track is also a Status Quo song, Someone's Shown Me. It's from, obviously it's off the Accident Prone. That's a song off it, If You Can't Stand the Heat. I actually like this version better. For a start, it hasn't got that horrible, it's got some backing vocals on, but on the Quo version it's overproduced sound, and this is really good. It's my favourite track on the album, and this guitar solo on this is far better than the one on If You Can't Stand the Heat. Funny that's going to upset a few Quo fans, but go and listen to that yourselves. Well, it's in the I'm hopefully going to try and put it in the playlist if I can find it, because it is a really good version. Okay, there are some good tracks on this album, and there are a little bit iffy ones, but it is an overlooked album. Some of the production's a bit that 90s feel, but it's a pleasant enough album, and I actually don't skip any of the tracks. I just let it play. I'm going to give this an R.T.O ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming at number 2. It's his most recent solo project. It's a collaboration with country violinist singer Hannah Rickard, and it is called We Talk Too Much. Came out in 2019. On here, there's one name you're going to recognise, the drummer, a certain Leon Cave. Keyboards are done by Paul Hirsch and Richard Cottle. Lap steel guitar by Henry Senior Jr. There's a mouthful. Slide guitar is Joe Harvey White. Vocals, and this is what it's down as, vocals and fiddle, Hannah Rickard, and vocals and guitar are Mr. Francis Rossi. Okay, this is quite country, obviously with Hannah Rickard being a country star, but it's a very, very good album because it's a bit country rock, if you get my reference. So the first track, it's called I'll Take You Home. I'll Take You Home. This is a pleasant and uplifting song. Great fiddle playing by Hannah Rickard. She is fantastic. And Francis Rossi's guitar stuff is very good as well. Fast, pretty good. It's quite upbeat. Really, really good track. Next track, I've Tried Letting You Go. I like this track. Okay, it's very country, but it's a very, very pleasant track. Hannah Rickard's a great singer, and she complements Francis very well. Ought to Know By Now, solid track. It's got a bit of that boogie shuffle to this, bit of country boogie shuffle, nothing wrong with that. Very, very good song. Then we get But I Just Said Goodbye. This is written by Bob Young and Francis Rossi. Quo combination again. I'd say it's what you expect from a Rossi Young track, and it's just got that little bit of country feel, brought in by Hannah Rickard, and I like that song. Really, really good. Waiting for Jesus, a little bit too country for me. It just goes over the top. It's not my cup of tea, but what I will say, it's a Hannah Rickard sings on her own on this, and her voice sounds lovely. She's a lovely singer, got a lot of heart and feel, really good. I'm Only Happy. Francis Rossi's guitar work in this is fantastic. Really typical Francis Rossi's guitar solo. He is such an underrated guitar player. His guitar solo in that is fantastic. Okay, the next track. It's another one that you may recognise if you're a Quo fan. It's called Rearrange. This is a song that was written at around the time of Whatever You Want. Got dropped for the Whatever You Want album, but appeared on the extended version. And this song, it's a good song anyway, and this version of this song is really, really good. It's a bit more country, of course, but doesn't take anything away from the song. Excellent song. Let me get the title track. I Talk Too Much. This is great. This could have actually appeared on any Quo song, on any Quo album, sorry. It's a Bob Young, Francis Rossi. It's got that boogie feel to it. It's quite heavy in places, but it's a really solid track. Then we get Heartbreaker, another song, country rock. Some great vocals on this. Really, really strong vocal. Really like that track. Good Times, Bad Times. This is written by Bob Young again. I don't like the song at all, but I do like Francis's guitar solo on it. I think it's really good. Sinking in Blue, again, proper boogie rock country, fantastic track, nice little rocker. Maybe Tomorrow is the last track, again a great little track. Rock boogie shuffle with a tinge of fiddle in it, nothing wrong with that. This is a quirky album. I think they had a lot of fun making it. I know there's a lot of die-hard Quo fans out there that will cringe at this album, but you got to remember this is Francis Rossi's solo stuff, and he does touch on a little bit of country. We know that with some of the songs he has written for Quo. It's a really good album, very pleasant, did well in the country charts, so that's how good it is, and I'm going to give it an R.T.O ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, my number one, second solo album, came out in 2010, One Step at a Time. On here we have got some backing vocals, Amy Smith and Guy Johnson. Bass guitar is John Edwards, Nicholas Rossi. One is this, yes, John Edwards. I wonder where he comes from. Nicholas Rossi, one of Francis's son. Sorry. Drums, Leon Cave. Guitars, of course, Francis Rossi. Harmonicas played by a certain Mr. Bob Young. Harpsichord by Kevin McLean. Now the piano, oh look, we've got a certain Andy Bown here. Guy Johnson and Kevin McLean. So basically you've got a lot of the Quo family on this one. It's a really good album. Okay, first song, Sleeping on the Job. One of them typical Francis Rossi, Bob Young rockers. Great feel to this, love the song, it really is good. Tallulah's Waiting, again a very good song, got a very catchy melody. It's all a song written about being on the road, going home to the family, very uplifting, fantastic song. Crazy for You, again just some great boogie rock. It's very similar to Status Quo, but I don't care, it's a really good track. One Step at a Time, no, it's a bit, I've never liked that track. Bit wishy-washy for me. Here I Go, solid enough track with that staple Status Quo boogie shuffle. Faded Memory, I think this is one of the weaker tracks on the album. Not particularly a favourite of mine. Let me get my favourite track, Strike Like Lightning. This is great. Great uplifty boogie track with a great lick. Fantastic stuff. Rolling Down, a song written by father and son. Written by Francis and Nick. Nick's a good guitarist as well. Love this track, that typical boogie shuffle sound, and there's nothing wrong with a bit of boogie shuffle. Okay, next track is Caroline. Yes, it is the Caroline. Now this version though is a bit more of a shuffle version. Now if you've ever heard the demo of this, it is more of a shuffle. And Francis Rossi, when he first wrote this is how he wanted to do it, as a more of a shuffle song. If you haven't heard it, don't worry, I am going to put it in the playlist, but I'm going to put there's a live version somewhere on YouTube, and I'll put that on because it's great. And I like this track, it's still a great version of a fantastic Quo song. Then we have If You Believe, pretty weak song. I don't like it, it's a bit wishy-washy. Now I've got a bonus track on mine, and it's a cover of the Johnny Nash song, sorry, I Can See Clearly Now. Nice arrangement and a very good version of it, I think. On the whole, I love this album. I play it a lot. It's a little bit different in places, but it's a very solid album, and I'm going to give it an R.T.O ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, normally I say that's it, next show, but today I've got something special, but I need a drink first. Now, a bit of history, if you don't know it, I'm sure you do. When Quo said at the end of the road tour, and they said that's it, no more touring, blah 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 blah, and the band sort of split up, both Francis Rossi and Rick Parfitt went off and did some solo, recorded some stuff to release as an album. And I've managed to track down both. Found the tracks. So this one is an album that should have come out, I'd say around about 84, 85, called Flying Debris with Bernie Frost. And I've managed on YouTube and various places, I've actually found what was going to be on the album. All the tracks are on YouTube now. I'll put some of them on, but if you want to look them yourself, I'll put the actual list in the description so you can go and find these tracks yourself. So let's have a look at these tracks, and I am going to actually sort of rank this one, so to give you an idea of what the tracks are. So the first track is a track called Modern Romance. Now this actually got released as a single, and when I heard it I thought, oh dear, what have you done, Francis? It's a little bit wishy-washy. Lots of keyboard in it, and it just didn't sound out. Now I don't know who's playing on these tracks because there's no anyone on there that I can find, but all I know is that it features Francis Rossi and Bernie Frost, of course. No, don't like Modern Romance, it's not very good. Then the next track is Jealousy, rework of the song from off the 1982 album. Is it any better? Not really. The B-side of this single, because this was released as a single, is far better. Then we have a track called Save a Place for Me. Lead vocal done by Bernie Frost, and it's horrible. It's awful. Okay, the next one you might recognise. It's a track called That's All Right. It eventually became the B-side of Status Quo's Ain't Complaining, and is a very good song. I like this version, and I like it's not much different from when Quo re-recorded it. I think they just added an extra guitar in it, which would have been Rick, and it's pretty good. Next track, I Wonder Why. Now this was the B-side of Modern Romance. Oh dear, this is rubbish. It's got this horrible keyboard sound, and I'll tell you what it reminds me of: the album version of Going Downtown Tonight from Back to Back. Not the single version when they re-recorded it, but that horrible beep, beep, beep sort of keyboard. It's absolutely dire. Absolutely dire. Next track, a track called Where Are You Now? Now this is the B-side to the Jealousy single. This is what I call a typical Bernie Frost, Francis Rossi Quo track. It's boogie. The only bad thing about it is the keyboard. It's not very good at all. But the whole of the song itself, the structure of the song is great, and it's a great little boogie number. Okay, next track, The Old Man of the Ocean. Another song that Bernie Frost sings on, and it's not very good. Okay, the best track is the next one. Now the version, it's not a very good recording, but it's called The House. And I do know a little bit about this. There is rumours that Alan Lancaster plays the bass and John Coughlin's on the drums. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard rumours that they did play on that track. Okay, the next track is called Naughty Girl, but this would reappear on the In the Army Now album, and then became Dreaming. Is it alright? That's alright. That's all I'll say about that. Next track. What Do You Want to Hear? I'll tell you what I don't want to hear. Bernie Frost singing at a microphone as a lead singer. Okay, I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. I mean, he was a fantastic writer with Francis, and they come up with some great tracks. But as a singer, Bernie, bless you, you weren't a very good singer. I don't like that track at all. Bit like the next one, Ships in the Night. Ooh dear. Bit iffy, very iffy. Okay. You can sort of understand why this album wasn't released, because they're not the best tracks. There were a couple of good stuff on it, but if this had been released as an album, what ranking would I have given it? Well, it would have come in at number 4 with an R.T.O ranking of 4 because there was some potential on there, but I think they should never have let Bernie sing some. Never mind. But I thought it was a bit different to talk about an album that was never released. I've got an idea for something, because I've done an Alan Lancaster tribute, obviously when he passed. So coming up to Christmas, because obviously it's the anniversary of Rick's passing, I might do a little tribute show to Rick. There's a lot of fans out there that love Rick, and one of the things we'll look at the album that he should have released, and I know who plays on that. At least 2 of them. It's Jeff Rich and Rhino Edwards, hence they ended up in Quo. So we'll have a look at that album. We'll do that show leading up to Christmas. Okay, before we go on this episode, just a quick reminder, the quiz sheets for the quiz on the 23rd are now available. All you need to do is email me at the email that's now appeared at the bottom of the screen, and also that one's for you, Richard, as well, so you can contact me. So that's the 23rd of December, 8:30 in the evening, UK time. Also, if you're short of Christmas gifts, go and visit Redbubble. If you go to the banner, at the banner of Ranking the Obscure, in the bottom right hand corner you've got all the social media. Redbubble's the very last one. Click on there and go and buy a t-shirt, a mug, or someone. If you're always buying socks for people, buy them something different. Buy a pair of the socks with the R.T.O logo on it. Okay then, I'll be back later for a retro ranking. So you'll need your tartan, your flares, because we're doing the Bay City Rollers. Why am I doing the Bay City Rollers? You'll find out later. So until then, ta-ta.